Oh hi there big boys and welcome to my review of Fables for Nintendo Switch. Now, I don't know about this game, I'll be honest. I know I'm going to get some people in the comments being not particularly happy with me, but I'll be honest, I don't think this game is for me. The actual game, I'm going to admit, is very fun and very well made, and it's exactly what Paper Mario fans primarily would want. I guess white is like and want and careful. Anyway, but yeah, it's not for me because I just don't find the game particularly exciting. But let's get to all this. Right, let's start off with it's an RPG in the style of Paper Mario, but instead of them being made out of paper, they're made out of bugs. Well, not made out of bugs. They just are bugs. Maybe they're made out of paper as well. The graphics are actually pretty solid. They're all quite cartoony style, and they suit really well. The game runs really good. It's all good on that front. And yeah, I mean, the thing about this game is the core gameplay is absolutely like brilliant and fine. It's just for some reason I just didn't have that much fun whilst I was playing it. Anyway, the game has this clever base of combat where you actually do actions to. Well, this isn't okay. Basically, it's an RPG turn-based game, not strategy, turn-based RPG. You know the ones, Final Fantasy 7, most of Final Fantasies really. Dragon Quest, that sort of thing. Pretty standard, but the main difference being the fact that you have to actually do little mini games during these actions to do more damage or protect yourself, stuff like that. A clever way of making the game more interactive, and I'm full support of that. Obviously, Paper Mario did this many years ago, but there hasn't really been many Paper Mario games for a while, at least not any good ones, so I can understand why this game was made. And the problem is, when you're fighting little small people, it can be kind of repetitive and kind of annoying and unsatisfying because you end up doing like one damage and it's just a bit boring in that way. So personally I would have made that not so much of a thing, but you know, it's there, and there are quite a lot of different actions you can do, to be fair, and once you level up more you can get more SP, I think it's called, maybe M, I don't know, one of them, which lets you do more of these cool skills and stuff like that. Another problem with the fact that I actually found myself running out of HP and SP and all that quite a lot, so I ended up having to use items to regenerate my stuff, and which would be fine, except for the fact that they're quite pricey, which meant I had to leave the game on for about 10 hours to get because there's like a bank system. I put some money in the bank, and then once I put my money in the bank, it slowly gets interest on, and then I got loads of money, and then I bought loads of items, and it made the game a lot easier, which was fun. Well, this thing is, it doesn't even feel like it makes it easier. It just makes it feel a bit more like balanced. I don't know. Maybe I'm just bad at the game, to be fair. But I was always worried about using my mana basically because I don't want to waste it in case there was a boss fight suddenly right after. You know, that's the kind of thing. And saving sometimes restores your health and stuff like that, and mana and all that. Sometimes it doesn't. It depends on the type that you find. There's not a lot of ones that actually do regenerate, which is kind of annoying. So if you get stuck in a certain area of no items, it's going to lead you to have to grind basic enemies for ages until you get enough coins, and yeah, that's kind of what annoyed me. I got up to, I think, chapter 4, I think that was 6 chapters maybe, don't quote me on that, but so I got a decent way through the game, but there's loads of side quests and all sorts of content in there. It's quite a long game, about 25 hours long I'd say, well, at least from, you know, what I gather, and that's pretty good. There's loads of secrets as well. I didn't even find half of the medals and stuff that I had to try and find. The medals basically just give you passive upgrades and stuff like that. That's all good. Just, you know, there's loads of different builds you can have. The core gameplay is really good. It's just for some reason, to me, I just didn't really enjoy it that much, which is kind of awkward. But if you are a Paper Mario fan, you will absolutely love this game. 100%. This game is the best Paper Mario game that has been made. But I've never played a Paper Mario game, so yeah, I can't really speak for that demographic so much. But yeah, the writing's pretty good, the story's pretty fun. There's loads of people to speak to, and they all have interesting personalities. I like the fact you only have 3 characters, so you don't have to keep going, oh, I want to pick this guy to be my main guy, or I want him to be the, you know, and once you're in the overworld, there's puzzles, which you have to use the 3 characters for. So you throw up boomerangs, then you can spin stuff, so you can then get around the environment. As I say, it's like, as I say it, it makes me want to go play it, but, because I do think the game is fun, and it's just, you have to be aware that this game might not be too fun for you. Mainly the combat, for me, was the problem. I feel like I would have enjoyed this game more if they got rid of the entire combat, or made the combat easier, to the point where I didn't have to worry about about my health and stuff, and just sort of could coast through the game, because I find the writing and the exploration really fun, which is weird because normally in games I'm all about the combat, but for this one, after a while, it just got a bit too repetitive and a bit sort of, oh, I'm pressing A again, now I'm pressing A at that exact point, oh, okay, now press A to block. It just, I know that's how you describe most games, but I don't know. It's a weird one, this game. But I definitely do not think it's a bad game before anyone comments, this guy hates good games. No, I do think it's a good game. I just think, personally, it wasn't for me. But I still had a lot of fun with it, to be fair. I didn't feel the desire to continue playing, cause I got to a point where I ran out of items, and all I could do was grind and to basically get more berries so I could go to a shop, and that because the game wouldn't let me leave the area either, which was annoying. And even like going to the pub, and well, not the pub, the hotel, costs money, and then that regens all your stuff, but that costs money. It's just everything costs money, and I kind of wish there was more, like, every saving point brought back your health. That would have made the game a lot more fun for me, a lot more manageable, and yeah. But oh well. It's definitely a good game for certain people, but just be aware that the game can be a little bit punishing. And I was playing it on normal difficulty as well. I mean, there's apparently hard modes which make the game a lot harder, and can only imagine. But yeah, this is a game that you might enjoy, so just be aware that it exists, I suppose, and get it on PC, other consoles and stuff like that. Yeah, I do feel like this has been like a quite difficult review for me, to be honest, because I'm struggling to sort of find problems with I can't really find problems with the game, other than the fact that I find it quite difficult and a bit repetitive. Because the game is good, it's just for some reason I'm just not that interested in playing any more of it. But you know, it's definitely a good game. It's definitely a good game. This is quite a long video as well, quite odd. Anyway, but that is Bug Fables, the Everlasting Sapling, I think it's called. Yeah, it's an interesting game. Keep your eye on it if you're into these sort of games, for sure, because it's an interesting one. So yeah, thanks for watching me, boys. It's an important time, and bye.